So, I'm Jigga. Yo, I'm on for my first shot of the day. Holla.
Oh! Are you okay?
What you want from me? Is it true? You see, I finally get you in now.
Let's talk about Renaissance. In my opinion, the second best Beyonce album to ever be released. So we're going to talk about the lyrics to production, some of the negative things I have, and towards the end of the video, I'm going to kind of explain why Beyonce is hella messy. So let's get into this album. For one, this project, for me, when I listen to it, it's really light. It's just like light, nothing emotionally heavy or draining. There's not a lot of like super serious relationship stuff or world politics or anything that you could see on the news that could like bring your spirits down or make you feel negative, or that feeling that you get when you're just doom scrolling Twitter or TikTok and it's just like negativity. This album has none of that. Like, this album, I feel, could be played in any era of time because it's just like, this is just positive. It's the soundtrack for, you know what? I want to be sexy today. I want to have fun today. That's what I want to do. I want to, whatever my vices are. If I like to drink a little bit and do it responsibly, but if I like to drink a little bit, I want to drink tonight. I want to either smoke something or take a gummy or whatever your vices are, like, enjoying your body and how you feel, enjoying your partner's body, like just any of those kinds of like free flowing, fun, physical activities that, a person could enjoy. And it's just when you listen to Renaissance, nothing matters outside of your earphones. Wherever you're listening to this album, nothing else matters. You can be in the club, you can be in your car, you can be at a party, at a function, at a kickback, a barbecue, whatever. The music just makes it feel like you're just there enjoying the moment. And this album was clearly made to celebrate Black people, to celebrate queer people, and it wasn't like in a pandering or exclusive way, like as someone like, I'm obviously Black but I'm not queer or anything, but I didn't feel excluded in the listening process of this album. Now I knew it was about them, but I didn't feel like I wasn't allowed to enjoy this, and that's, I think, the beautiful part about this album. Now when it comes to the production of Renaissance, the sequencing is damn near flawless. Like, it's just from song to song to song seamlessly flows together. Like it almost sounds like one continuous song, kind of like how old school records used to be, where you just kind of played it and it's just 45 minutes to an hour of just straight bangers, and it makes you want to move, it makes you want to dance. If you listen to this and you don't feel anything, you don't want to get up and dance with somebody or dance by yourself or anything, like if you've ever heard the saying dance like nobody's watching, this is what that album is for you. There's a mix of house music, bounce music, Afro beats, disco, the ballroom sound. It really carries this album. Like, I think the negative thing about the album when it first came out is people thought it was like an EDM album. So when people listened to it and they were expecting EDM, it doesn't sound like that. For me, obviously there's a lot of those other influences, but to me, this is a disco album, kind of like how Off the Wall is a disco album. That's what Renaissance sounds like. So obviously, if you go into this thinking it's going to be an EDM record, it's nowhere close to that. It's Afro beats, it's disco, it's dancehall, it's house music from like, Chicago, from New Orleans, all that stuff. And if you're anybody that knows, like, if you're like someone that like reads the credits or looks at the songwriters and producers of albums or songs, then these names I'm going to list for you are going to ring a bell for you, and you're gonna know like, hey, these guys are heavy hitters. Like Now Rogers, Raphael Sadiq, The Dream, Tricky Stewart, Drake, No ID, Sid from the Internet, Boy Wonder, Hit Boy, Mike Dean, Honey Dijon, Bean, and a special shout out goes out to Patrick Page. He's on the bass line for Plastic Off the Sofa. Incredible job. And also sampled on this album, Frida, Tommy Wright III, the Clark Sisters, Robin S., Donna Summers, Twister, a whole lot more. Like this album was just like a collection of music from all over the place to make it one complete sound. And it's just almost a perfect album. Like I don't know what's keeping me from naming this the number one Beyonce album. Maybe it's because I'm just a fan of Lemonade so much that I'm not willing to take that off the top. But and don't get upset with me, but there are a few negatives on this album for me, and it's not really about the music. For me, and maybe it's just my phone or my headphones, but I don't like how this album was mixed. Like there's sometimes I listen to certain songs, like when I first listen to like I'm That Girl and Cozy, they sound louder in my headphones, but when I go to like Cuff It and Break My Soul, the volume isn't as loud. So I don't know if it's just my phone or if it's everybody's, but I mean on my computer, all the songs sound the same as far as volume wise. Other than that, if I'm being completely honest, when I first heard Break My Soul, I didn't love it. I liked it, but I didn't like immediately fall in love with it when I first heard it. And maybe it's because it was the only single we got and we had to hear it for a long time before the actual album came out. But once you hear it between Energy and Church Girl, it just helps the flow of the album, and it goes back to that sequencing thing I was talking about, and it just makes the song sound way better than just hearing it by itself. So once again, shout out to the sequencing of this project. And this is a negative thing, but it's not really a negative thing about the album. It's more so a me thing. I cannot tell you which song that I like the best. I don't have a favorite song on this album. Like on any given day, it could be any of the songs. Like all of these songs are slappers, like every single one of them. So the last thing we're going to talk about for this album, and it's not about the album, this is going to be about Beyonce herself and how messy she is. Okay, so when I listed the writers and producers on this album, Drake was one of them. Drake had a hand in writing Heated, which is the 11th song on this album. So Drake helps Beyonce write Heated. She, records it, performs it, just does all that stuff. And Drake, being Drake, understands like, okay, if that's the song that she's using, then that's probably the sound direction that she's going with. I'm going to try to get in front of this, and I'm going to try to do this too and make an album, and I'm going to rush an album that kind of sounds like what I think Beyonce might do. And I'm going to release this album on Kendrick Lamar's birthday. Now, we all know how Kendrick Lamar feels about Drake. And now we know how Beyonce feels about Drake, because Beyonce immediately called Kendrick Lamar to get on the remix to America Has a Problem. And Kendrick Lamar proceeded to diss the shit out of Drake on that song. Like, listen to that verse. Listen to what Kendrick said. He is talking about Drake, that whole record. And Beyonce knows it. Drake knows it. And Kendrick knows it. Beyonce is messy. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think about this album. Should it be number one in her discography? Am I overrating it? Do you still listen to it? Let me know. We'll talk about it later. Peace.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.